High Rise Mystery, Chapter 46. Norva waved me over and we squeezed together on the sofa, Jane in the middle, Ringo relegated to the floor. I'll start with an easy one, Norva said. Our keys. Did you get them from Pap? Jane looked down and nodded. How long have you had them? I asked. A while. Norva leaned over to look at me. She shook her head and tutted. I'll go, I said. Another easy one. I was feeling brave. You were waiting for him on Friday night? Yes. She leaned forward and put her head in her hands. I'm so scared, girls. I know that a lot of people were, and still are, talking about him. I don't want everyone in our business, but I can't even offer him an alibi for Friday night. It feels awful. He doesn't need it, I said. We figured it out. What do you mean? Jane said loudly. Her head spun between Norva and me. He was helping a neighbour, and when he finished, he came home, I said. He was actually thinking about going to see you, but he changed his mind. How do you know this? She asked, shocked. She sat up straight. Is this true? She looked at Norva. Norva nodded slowly. No lies. I know you're shook. I get it, but we're not going to reveal our sources. Not yet anyway, so don't press us. Did he not offer an explanation at all, though? Not over the weekend or on Monday? I asked. Jane shook her head. That's the thing. I couldn't get a clear answer. Said he had to do some cleaning up. That's how he got the limp. He mustn't trust you that much yet, said Norva, a smile dancing on her lips. Jane looked crestfallen. Maybe. Will you tell me which neighbour? Who was it? We shook our heads. Something's been definitely going on with him recently. All of this was great for a while, the sneaking around. It was fun, thrilling. I looked over at Norva, who was clearly dying on the inside. But lately he's been more and more distant. Maybe he's just not that into me anymore. That was why he didn't want to go public. Jane sighed. Look, tell me straight. Was he with Serena? I just know she's into him. Do you think he likes her? I think he likes her. Likes her, said Norva. What makes you say that? Jane sat back and rolled her eyes. I don't know. Maybe I'm just insecure, but she's always touching him and being so friendly, and I know she doesn't like me. Said Norva. Maybe so. She turned to me. They'd make a cute couple though, wouldn't they, Serena and Pat? Norva looked at Jane. Jane looked sadly at the floor. I shook my head. Not as cute as me and Mark though, said Norva. We're goals. Jane looked up at her. Mark? No, Norva. He means well, but he's... Ding ding! My phone. I sat up and pulled it from my shorts. Norva looked expectantly at me. Is it Katie? I hoped it was. It wasn't. Summer calls for new sandals. You deserve them. Treat yourself, girl. Find your local store here. Not her, I said. I showed the message to Jane. Sandal sale, Jane? Interested? Not really, she said, looking at Norva. Norva looked at me, confused. It's just that you seem to be taking shoes that don't belong to you. Norva caught my drift. Yeah, and making a mess with them too. Jane looked perplexed. Then clarity. You know about the boots? Ah, she exclaimed, coming to a further realisation. So you were taking photos in my kitchen. You were investigating me. We stared at her until she spoke. Okay, yes, I borrowed his spare pair of boots this morning. We have the same size feet, you know, she said brightly. Norva narrowed her eyes. Yeah, we know. Jane looked at her quizzically until she realised how she knew. She coughed in embarrassment. Oh, yes, the emails. Okay, I borrowed his boots this morning. There was a little spot in my kitchen wall that was fading. I wanted to cover it. Tiny job. That's why it smelled of paint in there today? I asked. Yes, she said. Joe poured a bit of paint out for me after he came back from his meeting. He said he didn't care about the list anymore. I could have some. Flip it. I did the job myself. Badly. I dropped the paint all over his shoes. I went to throw the paint away and clean the boots, but of course the shoot is a crime scene. I walked all over the avenue in a flap. So the footprints all over the avenue are yours? Yes, they are. This was a comfort. Pap's not messy. He would never. To do. Pap's footprints on 3rd Avenue. I was speaking to him about it before he was taken away. He was urging me to tell DCI Sharp in case she thought he was trying to obstruct justice or muddy the waters. Mission accomplished, said Norva. Great job. Ding ding. I reached for my phone. Katie? But it wasn't my phone, it was Norva's. It's George. Says he's popping to Better Buy, that we should come down for dinner. Let's meet him at the shop. Maybe we'll see Mark. I stood up. Jane reached for her bag again. Look, Jane, Norva said, standing up. We're off. Stay if you want. I think we can trust you. A tiny bit. Jane looked at me. I nodded. Don't be too liberal with that key, though, said Norva. You're not family, and you never will be.